With the end of the year right around the corner, I thought it'd be the perfect opportunity to make a video detailing what the best mobile RPGs of 2019 are. I did a video on the best mobile MMORPGs earlier this year, and although this list will include a few MMOs, it will be filled with mostly exclusively RPG titles. With that out of the way, let's just jump right in. Another Eden is a beautiful Japanese RPG that takes you on a journey through time and space. If you've ever played through Chrono Trigger, then you'll feel a sense of nostalgia here. The story was worked on by one of the people that originally worked on Chrono Trigger, and that is very evident. Graphically, Another Eden is perhaps one of the most crisp, beautiful, well-playing titles in this list. Combat is turn-based, but it flows just as well as any old JRPG used to. ELCHRONICLE is a story-driven classical JRPG with full cinematic videos and completely voice-acted. Combat utilizes an interesting hybrid of auto combat and action combat, making for highly engaging real-time action battles. The game is supposedly open world, not without loading screens, but open to explore. Graphically, the game looks incredibly unique. It's nothing like the majority of anime-inspired JRPGs that Japan is often known for, which is a welcome change. Era of Legends is a new MMORPG that recreates the classical MMO feel on mobile devices. The game boasts a truly giant immersive world for players to explore, thousands of quests to participate in, and a true MMO experience unlike any other you've had on mobile. The combat is lock-on tab target, but has a lot of different skill combinations that you can make so the game doesn't get old too fast. Honestly, this is one of the better traditional MMOs out there for mobile devices. Lyn the Lightbringer is a stunningly beautiful RPG set in a world that follows the events of a cataclysmic war between light and darkness. The game utilizes an interesting blend of gorgeous illustrations and 3D animations to make one of the most unique looking games I'd ever seen on mobile devices. Combat, at least the actual meleeing of your characters, is completely automatic, but you can kinda get to choose your skills as their cooldowns become available. Brown Dust is a tactical RPG that puts you in the shoes of a young mercenary and his hot harem of female mercenaries. The game has beautiful anime-inspired illustrations and hundreds of different characters you can recruit with a strong emphasis on strategic gameplay. It is a tactical RPG after all. Combat is turn-based with your units and the enemy units exchanging blows one by one until nobody's left. Rangers of Oblivion was one of the first games I played on a mobile device, and I was taken a little aback by how detailed the character creator was and how good the game both played and looked. It's essentially a Monster Hunter inspired MMORPG with a free roaming world that allows you to equip a variety of weapon types and engage in actual action combat. It has amazing next-gen 3D fantasy graphics and is probably one of the closest experiences you'll ever have to a Monster Hunter MMO on mobile. SDORICA Sunset, or SDORICA Mirage, whichever version of the game you'd like to refer to this as, is an RPG with a large focus on storytelling, featuring completely handcrafted 2D animation from a variety of different animators. There are over 60 unique characters, all hand-drawn, each with their own unique personalities, and the combat is probably one of the more unique systems I've seen employed in a game. Instead of having your characters each possess their own, unique skill sets, you're given this weird kind of system that has you line up anywhere between 1 to 4 little orb things at a time, and depending on how many orbs are aligned, your attack will vary completely. King's Raid is actually one of the most viewed videos on my channel, with over 50,000 views currently. The game is a side-scrolling RPG with real-time battles that you can opt to participate in or out of. The combat, at least pertaining to the physical aspect of it, takes place automatically, but you can choose which skills to use when they're ready and available. The character models and the graphics themselves are stunning for a mobile title. Sometimes I forget that mobile games are capable of looking this good. You can be an MMO or heck, even an RPG fan in this day and age and not know about Sword Art Online. Integral Factor is a mobile adaptation of that title on mobile in MMORPG form. This is, and I kid you not, one of my favorite titles on mobile. It has an amazing anime creation system, combat that looks and feels like it's out of the hack games for PS2, but is actually pretty well done, and an interesting open world with segregated zones allowing you to see other players actually out and about. I've played my fair share of MMORPGs, but this is probably the most PC MMORPG feeling game I have ever played. Darkness Rises is a gorgeous action-adventure RPG that utilizes some of the best combat in a game of its kind. While technically kind of like a dungeon crawler, the game itself is absolutely beautiful and offers players outstanding customization options. I know I've said this a couple times, but holy crap, I love having the ability to customize my character as much as this game allows. The game has a very large emphasis on story, as that's the kind of game it is, but it offers a lot of epic boss fights and fantastic visuals to keep you from getting bored. You can't do a top RPGs or top MMORPGs video without including both Era of Legends and World of Kings. Why? Because they're two of the most traditional, most MMO accurate titles you find on mobile devices, duh. World of Kings specifically is probably the closest thing you'll ever get to a PC MMO with full dungeons, races, combat, and just an all-round MMO experience unlike any other on mobile. The combat was lock-on tab target, which was expected as even by today's standards, most MMOs go the tab target route. Graphically, the game wasn't really stunning, I guess, like some of the other titles in this list, but it felt so... And I know I've said this already, but MMO accurate is the best term that I can really think of. First Summoner is actually one of my favorite mobile RPGs currently. To this day, I still have the game downloaded on my phone and log in occasionally due to the difficulty, the complexity, and how freaking amazing the characters in game look. The game is a story-driven, chapter-based RPG that has no auto battles, no autoplay, no auto anything, but instead tests your strategic capabilities and drives you to almost want to quit the game every other chapter due to difficulty. I haven't seen many games with character models as good as First Summoners, and the use of strategic combat is just something that I've missed from my childhood. OVERHIT is a self-titled visual masterpiece, and I'm gonna be honest here, the character models themselves are incredible to look at. South Korea absolutely knocks it out of the park when they release a new game because it always looks like a console title, especially when looking at the characters. When participating in combat, which is pretty much automatic with the exception of skill usage, however, it becomes evident that it isn't as beautiful as some of the other games in this list, but man, does it look good nonetheless. DRAGALIA Lost is probably the only swipe-controlled action RPG in this list, and that's because it is also the only one that I've played out of, what, like 40 or so mobile games thus far. Graphically, the game is very anime-inspired with beautiful scenery and environments to traverse. Combat is complete action-oriented, meaning there is no targeting system and no lock-on targeting system. This is something severely underutilized in mobile games, and I think it's something that should be focused on more going into the future of the genre. Dawn of Isles is a multiplayer survival RPG that is actually really freaking good. It has an engaging storyline, it has an amazing character creator that truly allows you to create a gorgeous avatar, beautiful environment, and overall graphics, and provides you more features than most mobile games. You can build and customize your own island, craft items, gear, and food, you can go out hunting, you can tame a variety of epic monsters, and then it's as multiplayer as an actual MMO. Like, I'm not even kidding here. You can go out, you can see, and then group up with other players in the open world the game provides you. Like, seriously, this is an amazing game. ASTRAL Chronicles is an RPG that sets you on an epic journey through time and space. Kinda like another Eden, actually. But in this case, it's more like Groundhog Day starring Bill Murray, if you've ever seen that. The game is very story-driven and is absolutely adorable, offering beautiful handcrafted backgrounds and super cute character models. Combat was highly intriguing to me, as to cast spells, you're required to use your finger to draw the corresponding symbol for the skill with your finger, meaning that to actually best some of the encounters, you needed to be present. This meant that autoplay was definitely possible in some cases, but not possible in others. Azure Lane is a little different. See, while it's technically an RPG, it's a strange hybrid of both an RPG and a 2D shooter with tactical aspects. The game is completely story-driven and features over 300 different characters referred to and named after various ships from all around the world. Combat takes the form of a side-scrolling shooter where you use your finger to move your characters around the screen, dodging enemy fire while trying to line up your own attacks. Graphically, the backgrounds are mostly just like the ocean with the occasional rock here and there, but the characters, both their portraits and in-game models, are absolutely adorable. Actually, one of my favorites. Epic 7 was probably, and is likely, my most requested game on the channel, and I can understand why when looking at it. Like its name suggests, it has quite an epic storyline populated by some of the hottest women in a mobile RPG. I'm not kidding, these women are gorgeous. So are the special effects in battle though, which actually is turn-based, having players select the skill they want to use for each character before going through with using them. And although the combat plays well and the character models are gorgeous, the game itself has quite a bit of free roaming, and the areas you're allowed to roam are as beautiful as the women. I know I haven't included many of this kind of RPG in this list, but here we go. Girls Frontline is a strategy RPG, a very difficult, very demanding strategy RPG with a pretty strong focus on story. Graphics are fairly realistic, at least as far as backgrounds go, and the character models, well, in-game models are kind of chibi, which I'm always a fan of, and the character portraits are beautifully drawn. One thing worth noting is that when your characters get hurt in battle, their outfits actually rip and get broken down, which is, yeah, something highly enjoyable to experience. Combat itself, though, requires strategic use of character abilities, which can make or break the battle. And last but not least, I left what is perhaps still to this day the best looking anime-inspired RPG on mobile devices, Honkai Impact 3rd. This is also one of the most popular RPGs on a mobile device, and if you play the game, you'll completely understand why. This game has by far the best action combat I have ever seen in a game on mobile. It's also one of the most beautiful I've ever had the pleasure of playing through, with absolutely stunning characters, all of which have a pretty large emphasis on plot. Now, it has a good story, it allows for plenty of characters to play as while engaging in the game, and is all around considered one of the best mobile games. You truly have to try this game out to understand exactly why it's so highly recommended. And that covers my list of the top 20 mobile RPGs to play in 2019. These will last you until 2020 surely. If not, then I don't really know what to tell you. But that's just my opinion, my impressions of the genre. What do you guys think? What are your favorite RPGs? Do you enjoy the genre? Will you try any of these games out, or do you even want to? Let me know in the comments below, and let's talk about it. Anyway guys, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.